I think it's really important for a DeFi or a Web3 project to work with a designer whose center of interest is in Web3 or DeFi. Right? Deadlines were sometimes, in my view, quite ambitious. They were always met. And so, everybody basically commended the design of the web, right? The color scheme, the fact that it's very clean. It's very straightforward, right? So whoever is going to watch this, I highly recommend. We're obviously continuing to work with Radiance, and my hope is to continue this cooperation for a very long time. So yeah, so highly recommend it.
So hey, nice to see you, Evgeny. So I wanted to ask you a few questions regarding how Radiance helped you gain more users for your project and show that you are worthy of trust. So what specific challenges were you facing before working with our agency?
Sure. So let's first maybe like half a minute. I'll tell you about what we are and what we do, right? So to put things in context. So we've been developing a new innovative DEX with a special kind of trading technology that's unique to what we do, trying to connect kind of with 99% assets, and make trading even more efficient. And this is obviously a sort of customer trading proposition, right? So we need, for any DEX to work, we need people to come to the DEX, right, and to start trading, right? And so basically, we have two entry points into the DEX. The first one, is the landing page, right? That contains, just information about us, with some materials, white papers, but also explanations, graphical and textual explanation about, how we do things and how we're different from others. The second one is the application itself, right? The actual DEX, where trading taking place, and depending on how familiar a user is with what we do, whether he just wants to learn about it or start trading, right? That basically affects where he starts, right? And so both of those entry points, needed to be designed properly in a more efficient and effective way, right? To communicate to users, what are the advantages of dealing with us relative to other DEXs, and that's where Radiance basically came in. Radiance was not the first design firm that we worked with. We actually worked with a couple before. And the issues that we have identified, and the reason we wanted to switch, were that most of the designers that we encountered, right? We try to work with high quality designers, right? Did good stuff and had good portfolios, but most of them were not that familiar with the terminology and what's common to do, what's right to do in the context of Web3 and DeFi in particular. Right? And so I think it's really important to for a DeFi or a Web3 project to work with a designer whose center of interest is in Web3 or DeFi. Right? And I think Radiance is this type of people, right? So we're happy to connect, right? And then you can kind of see for yourself. Our website is vertical.io, and the trading site is app.vertical.io. It's very cleanly done. It communicates ideas in I think an extremely intuitive fashion, right? So if you go to our website, first of all, it's just pleasant to your eyes, but also I think after 2-3 minutes on it, you do understand what we're about and what we're trying to achieve, right? And so so that has been kind of our goal, and I think we largely achieved it. There are many challenges with Web3. Design is not the only one of them, but I think the design part, we've solved.
That's great to hear. Can you describe your overall experience working with Radiance?
Yeah. I already elaborated, I think, on the overall quality, right? So I think the idea that we wanted to emphasize, and I think Radiance were right on board, right, is basically simplicity and cleanliness, right? And basically, and that has been done. And in terms of like day to day or working, it's actually very straightforward, right? So we communicate thoughts, ideas, and then United Radiance tell us their vision, right? They provide some mock-ups to see, to show how they think, this would look like, right? There is some back and forth, right? Because always, there is, there are always difference in opinions, for any two people, right? The convergence is very fast, and usually within, depending on the complexity of the task, either within hours or within, a couple of days. Right, and then it's time to execution, and I think deadlines were sometimes, in my view, quite ambitious. They were always met, and so that's there's all I can say, right? So it's a very pleasant, straightforward communication, and it's not just about promises, about delivery. They matched very well.
Super glad you're happy with the service. And one more question: how have the users responded to the design of the website, of the app, the marketing collateral? What has been their reaction to it?
Yeah. So so I've been obviously corresponding with with the users of the protocol, on our Telegram, on our Discord. Users, first of all, they want things to work, right? So, for a DEX, right, where money is at stake, sometimes a lot of it, right? It's very important that, there are no technical issues, right? And so, as an upcoming project, right, of course, we had some technical issues, right? And we faced some complaints about it, but I have to say that, everybody basically commended the design of the web, right? The color scheme, the fact that it's very clean, it's very straightforward, right? So, I don't think I'm trying to recall right now whether I had any kind of complaints or even negative experiences design-wise. I cannot, recount that. Users on Discord and Telegram, they tend to be usually on the negative side in the sense, they comment if something doesn't work. So it's rare to hear kind of superlatives about anything, right?
Yep.
But not hearing kind of bad things about design, I think to me that's equivalent to basically users like it, right? Because otherwise I would definitely have heard about it.
Yeah, and
so
most importantly, people.
Also, we other constituents, not just direct users, not just the traders, right? But I've talked to some investors, and I talked to some market makers, and people kind of in the industry, right? And those people tend to be more balanced on average, right? And from those people, I did tend to hear very positive things about the design and how both the landing page and the app.
Yeah, that's great to hear, knowing how important raising investment is in Web3 and has been during the bear market. Yeah. Okay, great. Super happy you like the service.
Yeah. So whoever is going to watch this, I highly recommend. We're obviously continuing to work with Radiance, and my hope is to continue this cooperation for for a very long time. So so highly recommend it on all dimensions as I described.
Great, thank you, Evgeny.
My pleasure.